Hello guys, this is Aaron from Sound Resolution, and today we are playing Battlefield 3, a game that I don't play a ton of, but it is an interesting topic of discussion, and I'm playing it on the Xbox 360 today. And that's where I'm going to start with. The versions of the game, in my opinion, are so vastly different from one another. Mostly from the consoles to the PC, but even the Xbox to the PS3 version has a pretty large gap difference. And I personally think that when you're talking about Battlefield 3, one of the things it's most acclaimed for is its graphics and the atmosphere. And to be honest, I just feel like on the console there's something severely lacking with it. And I'm not a fan of the amount of aim assist is in the game. It's even more than Call of Duty. That's something that's always annoying to me personally. And as I've began to play a lot more of my shooters on the computer, there's practically no aim assist, so there is actually, in fact, no aim assist in most games. So it's kind of weird to come back to the consoles and have so much aim assist, and so that's sort of, to me, it's very annoying. But at the same time, I understand it. It makes it, again, an easy pick up and play for people who haven't maybe necessarily played the game as much. Wow, I didn't even see that guy. All right. So, and I think Battlefield 3 does a good job of making, I actually enjoy the outside part of this map here, Metro. I think it does a good job of sort of keeping, what I really liked a lot about Bad Company was sort of creating, ooh, I got revived. Sort of creating pockets of fighting in certain areas, but keeping it all sort of together and cohesive, and that's part of my problem, I'm going to say, with the maps. And this has a large part to do with the console player count. You don't see it as much on the PC. This isn't a problem, but the maps can feel extremely disjointed and almost like it's not one fluid sort of experience. And you don't, some people may not even be helpful at all because of just how the maps are, and you kind of feel like you have to just trudge across the map. And there isn't really a there's not as much of a feeling of there being a front line and there being, this is interesting. I'm trying to, Alright, there we go. But I do think Battlefield does a really good job with these long sight lines, and, Oh, and I got sniped. Alright. And people also like to bring up the realism factor of Battlefield, and to be honest, I don't think the realism is that spectacular. I think they do a good job of, once again, the feel of the bullets and the explosions and stuff, but even then, I still think it really struggles in comparison to its PC counterpart. And I think that's why I have such a hard time often putting this game in in my tray, is because it's hard to play a game where I feel like it's just way better on another version. So on a map like this, it's not as prevalent, but another problem I would pick apart about this game is the people who play it tend to be very self-focused and not really focused about an objective or a team. At least, and that's usually because, once again, the player count can sometimes make the players feel like they're completely separated from each other, and there's no real way to get to people. So that's a bit unfortunate in my opinion, because I still felt like I was part of a team working towards a common goal in Bad Company 2, and I just feel like I feel it less in this game. And that's sort of the reasons I try to pinpoint on that, is the map design and the player count is extremely low, and these maps are made for a PC amount of players is the main problem. And so then I'm going to go back to the shooting aspect of this game. And so the positive thing about the shooting aspect in this game is that I feel like guns behave the way I would imagine them to, in terms of balance of what their class type is. Like, I'm using this LMG here. It has a lot of kick. It's pretty hard. I have to burst fire it downrange, which is sort of a nice feeling, and it's fun to shoot, sort of, but at the same time, from a game standpoint, I think it's very, the controls themselves, the aiming of it is so, it feels really unruly. And if I was on the other team right now, I'd be very upset because my entire team is just sniping in the back. That's kind of what you see. You don't see... I'm not even sure they're trying to flank or anything. They're literally just sitting in that back area with sniper rifles. So I'll try to prevent any flanking, but I think that's what's going on right now. So that would be something is oftentimes, at least on the Xbox and PS3, I've noticed is a lot of players just end up sniping the back of the map, and it's not entirely useful. So I feel like just even over the Bad Company 2 and the Bad Company 1 and the 1942 games, I just think that Battlefield 3 sort of took a step back big time on the gameplay standpoint. And they did improve a lot of the atmosphere and how the guns feel and how explosions feel. They did a really good job with that with the Frostbite engine. But to me, it's still all about the gameplay in the game. And I just don't think it feels as sharp or just as fluid or as well thought out as the previous Battlefield. So that's just kind of my opinion of the Battlefield series, or where it's at. And I do have high hopes for Battlefield 4. I do hope the increased player count for the consoles with the new tech will hopefully sort of remedy almost all of the problems I just laid out. So if you guys agreed with me, disagreed with me, you know, whatever, definitely comment or all that stuff. I would definitely love to hear what you guys, you know, have to say. And you know, subscribe if you want to be part of this discussion. Those are some of my ideas, and so I hope to see you guys on this channel again next time as we discuss multiplayer games in the future. Alright, thanks, and see you guys next time.